A White City man accused of stabbing his own father is now behind bars after what investigators call a nearly 5-hour manhunt. Deputies say the attack happened Saturday night at a mobile home park, and earlier today the suspect faced a judge for the first time. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Samantha Cadera.
And I'm Oscar Rodriguez. Our team was in the courtroom from the moment this case was called, tracking every development. Newswatch 12 Grace Ritz walks us through what unfolded in the court and what comes next.
46-year-old Jason Samuel Rowan appeared in the Jackson County Circuit Court earlier today, facing a second-degree murder charge after he was arrested for allegedly stabbing his own father on Saturday in White City.
Mr. Rowan, it's very important you don't talk to anyone about your case. That includes over the phone. That includes any cellies, anyone else, any police or anything like that. Someone from my office is going to talk to you tomorrow.
Jackson County deputies responded to reports of a stabbing in the 3600 block of Avenue G in White City. When they arrived, deputies and medics found Edward Dean Rowan unresponsive at the scene. He was pronounced dead shortly after. The suspect initially fled the scene but was identified to be the victim's son, and after a 5-hour manhunt was apprehended. He appeared over Zoom in court today, where he was appointed legal counsel, and his initial indictment was postponed for a later date. That court date is now set for November 10th, but could be postponed again. This is still a developing story, and we will update you as we learn more. Reporting in Jackson County, I'm Grace Ritz.
Wade Union Elementary School is calling for immediate action from the California Department of Fish and Wildlife after a mountain lion has been spotted on and around their campus. Superintendent and Principal John Ray released this statement today, outlining why the mountain lion should be promptly removed in a humane manner. The statement comes after multiple lockdowns and a nearby resident discovered the mountain lion on their porch, actively eating their cat. These incidents demonstrate an alarming lack of response to human activity.
And today, Republican state lawmaker Christine Drazen is throwing her hat into the ring once again, announcing she'll be running for governor of Oregon. Drazen narrowly lost in the 2022, falling just 3 percentage points behind Kotek. During today's speech, Drazen said her priorities for the state include cutting taxes, raising students' test scores, helping police, and supporting people who are getting clean and sober. There has not been a Republican governor in Oregon since 1987.
Now here's a live look out at Mount Shasta tonight with a brand new blanket of snow. Many higher elevations across the region saw fresh snowfall over the weekend. Even Crater Lake saw 13.5 inches. Thankfully, we are past that crazy weather. So let's check right in with Storm Tracker 12 Chief Meteorologist Matt Hoffman. What can we expect for the rest of the night and into Halloween?
Well, the big thing tonight is just going to be kind of cold temperatures. We woke up to some very cold readings this morning, and those temperatures are dipping. And take a live look at Klamath Falls. We're down to 31 degrees, likely heading for the lower 20s tonight. We are at 25 degrees already in Lakeview. It's 28 up in Christmas Valley. We've dropped to 43 degrees in Medford, 35 in Montague, and 49 degrees in Brookings. We do have some passing clouds in southern Oregon. A warm front is lifting through the region. We've had a little bit of light shower activity and sprinkles along the coast. Not really going to add up to all that much, and it should come to an end as we go through the overnight and early morning hours. Inland, chilly down into the 30s in the Rogue Valley, 32 in Wairika, falling well down into the 20s on the east side. Tomorrow, your planner in the Rogue Valley, mostly sunny skies. But with that warm front lifting past the region, we will see some milder temperatures tomorrow afternoon, climbing into the mid to upper 60s in our west side valley. Some beautiful weather to check out some of that fall color. We are seeing peak color right now in the Rogue Valley. And then taking a look across the region on your Tuesday, mostly sunny up to 69 in Grants Pass, 65 degrees in Brookings. We'll top out around 60 in Klamath Falls and 64 degrees in Wairika. A few weak systems we're keeping an eye on as we go through the rest of this week. I'll have more details on those systems and how Halloween is shaping up for the region coming up in just a bit. Sam.
Matt, thank you. Ashland leaders are weighing how the city's food and beverage tax should be used moving forward. It brings in millions for infrastructure and parks, but there's a growing debate after whether the rules should change to better support community needs. And here's where discussions now stand.
Limiting what we can do for the parks that we have now by tying our hands with this, as it's written now, to only be expended in capital, for capital use.
The food and beverage tax adds 5% to restaurant bills in Ashland, generating roughly $3 million every year. Most of that money now funds major infrastructure and capital improvements. Some leaders argue parks are facing rising operational costs and need more support to keep up with community use.
So Councilor DeCane and I basically asked for discussion to be had around the food and beverage tax and what the future of that looks like. The issues that we have with parks is the increasing operational costs, and they can't use that money for that purpose.
Councilor Dylan Bloom wants the tax to help offset water rate increases tied to the city's new treatment plant, while also giving parks a dedicated funding stream for operations. Others want the tax made permanent and possibly shifted more toward parks.
So I felt that it was important that we include the community in this, right? I mean, at the end of the day, we're going to be asking for their vote to be able to change this.
Next steps include gathering input from residents through a town hall expected in winter. Leaders hope public feedback will help guide how any ballot measure is shaped. The food and beverage tax is set to expire in 2030 unless voters choose to extend it. Councilors plan to finalize ballot language well ahead of that deadline.
Governor Kotek is demanding immediate action from the USDA to protect SNAP benefits for Oregonians. The push comes just days before more than 750,000 Oregonians could lose access to benefits. Today, Kotek and other state leaders sent a letter to the USDA urging them to utilize contingency funds to guarantee November SNAP benefits go uninterrupted. The letter stresses the impacts on those who need food assistance as well as rural businesses that rely on SNAP dollars.
And in our School Watch coverage, we're continuing to follow the Medford School Board's decision to choosing a firm that will help find the district's next superintendent. At today's meeting, there was some discussion of holding off on choosing a firm and keep their interim superintendent. However, the school board ultimately decided to move ahead with the process in selecting a firm. The school board selected McPherson and Jacobson as the firm that will help find the district's next superintendent. Through all the evaluations, McPherson and Jacobson had the highest score. And on to our fire watch. CAL FIRE wants neighbors to know about planned smoke in the area if you notice smoke up near the water tanks on Humbug Road. There is no need for alarm. Crews are burning roughly 40 to 50 hand piles as part of the Osgood fuel reduction project. Removing dead and downed vegetation lowers wildfire risk and helps maintain a healthier landscape for the community. And CAL FIRE Siskiyou says pumpkin carving injuries are more common than you might think. More than 1,500 Americans end up in the ER every year while getting those jack-o'-lanterns ready for Halloween. And here are some safety reminders they're sharing. Set up your pumpkin in a well-lit, stable spot. Use carving tools from a kit instead of long kitchen knives. Cut away from your body. Work slow and steady and keep your hands and tools dry. To light your jack-o'-lantern, skip the candles and use glow sticks or battery lights to keep the spooky vibe without the fire risk. And we're following up on the 17th annual Monster Dash that took place on Saturday, with runners of all ages participating in the 10K, 5K, and 1 mile races, supporting grants for Ashland Public Schools. And Oscar, you ran the 5K. How did it go? Yeah, I actually ran it. It was a fun time. I ran it with Danny as well, one of our co-anchors for the morning. It was a fun time. You know, it was not the race the time I wanted to go, but it was fun, you know. Danny did smoke me out, so he didn't want to share to everyone. He did beat me in that 5K. But I actually spoke with Erica Thompson, the executive director of the Ashland School Foundation. And the final registration, she said, of the count on the race day was 1,176. But that number can go up as the virtual races are still going on till this Friday. This year, despite having the lower registration and bad weather during the races, the Ashland School Foundation said they hopefully reached over $50,000 fundraised.
It's become a tradition for a lot of families. It's really become a beloved community-wide event. And I think it just kind of goes to show that through challenging circumstances, people are going to show up and build community.
But that money can go up as another part of their fundraiser is a silent auction that's open through Saturday. And despite the rain, a majority of the events still happen. For more information or looking to participate in the virtual race or silent auction, head over to kdrv.com.